And in the men's elite grade, we've just had Gene Beveridge from New Zealand change over to Cameron Delisle. Now they're a couple of minutes back behind the leading Australian team and the second couple of men's elite teams. So there's a bit of work to do there.
Started going your way. Oh, did you? Well, I nearly started going to 11. I kind of started going towards 15. Yeah, and then I was like, because somehow I thought that this was on the far side of the hill. Well, from 14, I was thinking I had to go back up to the top. Oh, no. I'm like, hold on, no, you've still got one more. Yeah, I just think that's the same.
So we've had some women's 21Es finish through here.
I felt like every leg was uphill.
So you can see Barney Seaman, Juanita Steer come through, equal 6th place.
So it's a lovely sunny day here in Cootamundra, very hot conditions, so I hope everybody's keeping hydrated and sunblocked up. If you want to do some more orienteering in lovely sunny weather, head over to Hawke's Bay at the end of January next year for Sprint the Bay 2020. Previously been called the best sprint orienteering carnival of the Southern Hemisphere. Sprint the Bay will be returning on the 31st of January next year. So book your flights over to Hawke's Bay, New Zealand for a great weekend of orienteering down there.
Bridget, can you go grab my popper?
And if you want to make a carnival out of it by going to the Lonely Mountain Sprints in New Plymouth the weekend beforehand and cruising around the central North Island of New Zealand for a beautiful week of summer orienteering.
Mostly clean until like 21 I messed up. You got ahead of me. 22 probably lost like 35 seconds. I was on super good, so I thought you had a different. Yeah, I went around. I walked up this hill basically. Yeah, I messed up 22. I sort of came around here and I was reading this part so I didn't quite see the two.
Yeah, I've read the one below. I like shaking.
What? I saw it.
always find my screen isn't on this much camera.
So in the W35 grade, we've had Alicia Dougal changing over in second place, sending out Nicolette Helmai. She's 7 minutes behind.
Just a reminder that leg 1 runners of the elites that have been tracked, you do need to give your tracker and your vest to your leg 3 runner. We'll be using the same trackers for leg 1 and leg 3.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for your help, boys. Guys, Matt.
So we're just seeing up on the big screen at the moment the tracks for the women's 21E. No map, of course, but looks like Crystal Newman's got a fair gap back to the New Zealand runner, Lara Malloy. Okay, we got some information on the mass start. So remaining second leg runners will be mass starting at 11:30. So that's just a little under 20 minutes away. And any remaining third leg runners will mass start at 12:30 is the information we have. So our leading elite teams, their second leg runners have been out for about 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes. So about 10 minutes time we might see them on the cameras.
Out there, I bet. Thank you.
I got the screen to work, but now it's only displaying like weird noise and fragments of the picture. No, he was talking to you.
Oh, okay.
I said I got the screen to work, but it's only showing like green and purple versions of the picture. Plug to HDMI.
Hey, oh, Stan. Get your money's worth.
So which chord is me sending stuff to you?
So we've had a few second leg runners coming through in some of the younger age groups. So Ophie Rothery and Marcus Denegar. So Ophie handed over in second and Marcus handed over in fifth.
Yeah, it'd be getting hazard pay.
Should request that. And fly dealing with.
And your name, please, before you go? Julia?
Baba.
Thank you.
men's 20 elite. Should be getting close towards the end of their second leg. So we've got Alistair George on camera. He's about 4 controls from the end. And
Yeah, there was a whole train.
Noah Poland and Jack Marshall, Duncan Curry, Will Tilswell could all be very close to where Alistair is at the moment.
Yeah, so then I basically go into over there. Yeah, so Sith and myself and Zad are on the last.
So Alistair George should be appearing at the Bear Rock Control very shortly.
So it goes this one, then to here, then to Zad.
I can see him running across the paddock now. So in the blue pants and the Australian top. Heading over towards the second last control. So he's just coming into it now. Looks like he's broken away from those other guys. We haven't seen them on camera at all. Coming up to the fence. Let's see if he leaps it in one go. Yeah, well done. So Alistair George coming into the changeover now, leading in the men's 20E. Okay, any second leg runners who haven't started yet, can you go into the start area? You're going about to be called up to go in the mass start.
Chat to reporter, Alistair.
Any remaining second leg runners into the changeover area, you'll get called from there. So our men's 21E, it's very close there still at the front. Just coming into control 16. So they've still got a few controls to go yet. And that'll be Thomas Krajcek and Brodie Nankervis. And we've got Noah Poland in men's 20. Just at the gully control. So he went out in the lead in that class. Of course, Alistair George is in. So Noah may be the second runner. Come in men's 20.
Back there, running back in.
So he should pop out of the forest reasonably soon and run along the slope out to our left and head towards the Bear Rock Control.
Thanks. No worries.
So Noah's running for Canberra Cockatoos. I can just see him now. Yellow top, blue pants.
Ali, yesterday I should have come up to you with the hole in your shirt and like give you a little pat. Did you do that on like the start of the course yesterday?
It's actually really nice.
Yeah, Ali was like, hey, ventilation.
So Thomas Krajcek and Brody Nankervis are still close together. Here comes Noah heading in towards the Bear Rock control. So Noah's just heading up to the fence. He's looking a bit tired. Yeah, no, he still jumped it, and he almost fell over. So Noah's coming in second place in men's 20 elite. So Tristan Miller heading out on the third leg. Looks like one of the Rheinbots. I think that's Grant. Just coming through the gully control. So that's men's 18. Bit hard to pick Grant and Blake. I've been coaching them for many years and I still can't work them out. So just confirming that that's Grant. He's been out about 35 minutes. Looks like he's run through a few of the other teams. So Cameron Delisle in men's 20E, just coming in the New Zealand team. So it looks like he's caught one of the other teams. Just trying to rustle up some people to take over. Because I'm a third leg runner. I need to head off shortly.
I don't feel that. Nah, after the long stuff? Yeah.
Any second leg runners who have not started, go to the mats now.
Oh.
Did you? The top? If I look to the left, I want to see. Wow.
We should be seeing some of the women's 20s coming in towards the finish shortly. So they're just heading into the gully control now. So we might see them up on the screen shortly. I got Wendy Reid near the gully control on screen.
I see it. Is it Zoe?
We're also looking for Crystal Newman and Lara Malloy in women's 21. Shouldn't be too far away from the radio control. It's the gully radio control. Looks like Zoe Malhuish is coming into that in women's 20. Zoe looks like she's got in front of Carolyn Berger and Ivy Prosser.
Yep, okay. I've got.
And Crystal Newman's also through that control. I got a New Zealander as well, who I'm not quite sure whether that's a 20s.
Who do you want me to follow?
So Crystal and Zoe should drop out from the forest over on our left very shortly and be running in towards the Bear Rock control. It's quite a train of Aussie runners and one New Zealand runner. So Zoe Malhuish just through the bare rock control, Crystal Newman right behind her. Coming down to the fence. They're looking quite tired. It's quite physical out there obviously, and it's starting to get a bit warm. Okay, so the Kiwi runner is women's 20E. It's Marina Kaminsky. So she went out only about 10 seconds behind Zoe, so they're still tight together. But it looks like she caught up just a little bit of ground. So Tara Malhuish and Brianna Stevens are going to slug it out for the last leg in women's 20E. Bridget Anderson heading out for Australian women's 21E. I can also see Bruce Arthur heading out for the men's 40 Australian team, I think. Men's 50, we've had Mark Freeman come in, hand over to Jock Davis.
Oh my God, 12.
And I've just seen Bill Edwards heading out as well. So that is looking very tight.
I'm just sliding down that hill. Yeah.
Bit unusual. Normally New Zealand wins that class quite comfortably. Here comes Brody Nankervis up the finish chute. And it might be Thomas now coming down into the last control. So it looks like Brody broke away just at the end. Matt Doyle's gone out.
What are you doing? What? The sprint to the finish.
Him, yeah, just giving Craney a good time.
I've given you a good time. I walked this as well.
That must be him.
Yeah. I'm sure he's going to wear a green shirt. You've taken a good step. Oh, I just laid it all over my mouth. I think I saw you out there a bit, but I split up and got balls.
Arton Shadbolt, your SI Air. Okay, one of your teammates has just grabbed it.
Where do the photos go? Oh.
These are, this is the live stream. This is live. I didn't know you.
I was thinking, oh, she's taking photos, so I don't need to worry about taking photos. That's good.
No, yeah, take your own photos if you want to.
Michael Amos and Joe, if you want to be both of them on the front seat next to you.
Elsa in New Zealand. Do you want me to go after her? She's a young girl. I don't know. She's just up the top. At
Thank you. Just give me a second. I'll just confirm it's all good. It's all done. Tough out. Just head along.
And just now running across the spur, we can see Grace Crane, our third, currently in third for women's 21. She's got 2 controls to go, currently behind the Australian and New Zealand teams, so first to the state teams.
Just a few. Yeah.
All right, so we've got Brodie Nankervis here, second leg for the Australians men's 21 team. How was it out there? What did you think compared to yesterday?
Yeah, it was pretty tough stuff. Had a fair bit of climb, and I was feeling the hills yesterday, so I was definitely feeling them today. So just trying to have a stable race, not doing anything special. I blew up big time yesterday, so try not to blow up today.
And you had quite the battle with Tom Fraser out there. How did it pan out with him?
Unfortunately, I was hoping to have a bit of a gap on him, but Martin had a really good run, so he put him out just in front of us, and I jumped into the lead, and then I couldn't put a gap on him, and then when the hills came, he went past me, but then I knew I'd probably try and get him on the downhill at the end, so I sort of held my ground and then took off at the end. So that was a nice little tactical decision. Hopefully, I've given Matt a little bit of a gap, but I don't think it was very much.
Well, I heard rumours people labelling you the dream team for the 21s, but ACT are giving you a good nudge. Is the heart rate getting a little high? You're a bit nervous? You got Craney out there up against Matty D. What do you think? How do you think it's going to pan out?
I was nervous when I looked at the start list. Sorry, New Zealand, but I was more worried about the ACT team. But I think Craney's got something to prove. He was a bit filthy that he's of the opinion that the best state team should be the Australian team. So he'll be out there trying to prove that today. So I think he's got that on the line, and I reckon it'll be a good battle between those two. Neither of them are going to let it up.
All right, well, let's wait and see what happens. We hopefully will start getting some action on the radios and on the tracking for the third leg of those guys. All right, cheers, well done, Brodie.
Thanks.
My feet were just like, felt like they were on fire. It was so hot. I was like, yes. Oh, you hot? Oh, sorry. Come on, Kelly.
Which one are you trying to direct them to?
And on screen now, we can see Cam Delisle for the New Zealand team just punching, coming across. He'll have about 2 or 3 controls. We should see him soon. And also just behind him, we've got the ACT team, the second AC team. So we're seeing a quick finish coming across the spur now with ACT 2 and also New Zealand coming across. Looks like ACT's finishing strong coming into that second to last control. So that's Andrew Kerr and Cameron Delisle battling it out in that last section, and they'll be handing over to their respective third runners. Looks like Andrew Kerr's just got a bit of a lead there. He'll hand over in third place. So Andrew will be handing over to Stephen Melhuish. So he'll be just about heading out. And the second, so the last runner is going to be Tommy Hayes. So it should be a tough battle out there. Tommy coming off a tough run yesterday with injury in the long. Let's see if he can make good on that today and put in a solid run for the Kiwis. And there he heads, off he goes. So that's Claire Brownridge finishing there in the women's 21 for the Vic team. And she's just handed over to Asha Steer, who'll run the third leg for the women's 21. So they're currently in fifth place at the moment, about 15 minutes back on the first Australian team. So Bridget and Lizzie Ingham still battling it out. Should be a close battle there for the women's 21.
In the men's 20, we have, looks like on the tracking we still have the battle of the Miller brothers. We've got Pat Miller running for the Australian team, who has a couple hundred metres over Tristan for the ACT. But a really close battle is going to be the fight for third. We have SA, New Zealand and New South Wales all running together in the men's 20, 2 minutes behind the front two Miller boys. So this battle for third is really going to heat up, so we'll keep you updated.
So on camera now we can see the roughly fourth or fifth last control. I think it's the fourth last control. Tricky little descent there before they come out onto the flat part for the last three controls.
we've got the men's 35 Tasmanian team, Simon Louis coming in, handing over to Matt Cohen, and they're in second place.
Oh, seriously,
So in the finish chute now, we can see Craig Fuderhart, who's just handing over to his second leg runner, third leg, sorry. So he's just behind the New Zealand 1 team. And he's just handed over to John Toomey, who's now running third leg. Fair gap back to the Australian team. So just waiting now, we're just waiting for a few of the elites, should be finishing soon. But
if you look up on the screen, we're expecting Pat Miller to be coming into the 4th last control very soon in the lead for the Australian team. It looks like he has got a gap on his brother, Tristan, running for the Canberra Cockatoos. And then we still have that battle for third. We've got Ethan Pank, Rowan Lee and Ewan Shingler fighting for third. Just looking on the tracking, it looks like Paddy Miller has made a bit of an error coming into the gully control. So, looks like Tristan, if he comes in clean, he has a chance of catching here. So we're just going to see if Paddy Miller can find him, relocate, work out where he is, and fix that mistake up quickly. And it looks like he's doing that right now. Whilst Tristan is coming in on a clean entrance straight into the control. So this is going to be tight.
What a finish, please. That's one for the books. Okay. Yeah, no, it's really
He's very much
okay.
And I also have ACT coming in the right way.
And we can see an Australian top on screen now at the gully control, but I'm not sure if that's Patrick or Tristan Miller. We're still waiting for the first M20 third leg runner to come. And there we go. We can see Tristan on screen now. I think he's found that gully control. He has. So he has overtaken his brother Pat. Patrick sent out with a 5-minute lead and he's made it back. So this is
Paddy is just sitting above the rock. On the tracking, he hasn't quite found it. He's in the circle. So it looks like Tristan might have this if Paddy doesn't get there in the next 15 or so seconds. Tristan could run away with this.
So that was Patrick Miller on screen just before. He came within at least 10 metres of the control, but just missed it. That's a tricky control approach from the top there, a diagonal downhill. So Tristan now, we should see him coming across the spur in the next 1 minute or so, and he'll hand over, and sorry, he'll finish in first position if he can hold this lead. And there's Patrick Miller punching So he is only about 30 seconds back on his brother. It's going to take a strong finish from Patrick here. I can see Tristan just coming over the spur.
About halfway between the fence and the hill.
This is going to be a tight finish here. Has Tristan got the legs to hold off his brother? Almost both of them on the screen here, but we are going to have to wait and see. It's going to be a sprint finish. Either way, a good result for Australia here. And here we have him on drone footage. That's Tristan Miller punching. 2 controls to go. And Patrick Miller right behind him on his tail. This is going to be a close finish in the men's 20. That's a great run there by Tristan. He's got the stick over his brother today, but still a great result for Australia there in the test team. And here comes Tristan Miller. He'll be the first of the M20 teams to finish. He's had a great run there, 3rd leg run for the ACT team. And at the same time in M55 we have Greg Barber from New Zealand running up the finish chute. That's a great run here. And Tristan Miller running into the finish there. That's a great run. Patrick Miller just punching the last control now. We'll get a chat with Tristan, see how his run went out there. And Patrick Miller, he'll finish first in the Australia-New Zealand test team. That's a great run from Patrick. So it looks like a fairly clean run there for Tristan. No mistakes showing up on our screen. And that was M55, Greg Barber. He's just finished, and a fairly clean run there, looks like, for Greg. So he'll take the win there for the New Zealand team in the men's 55.
All right, so I've got the 2 Miller brothers with me. We all just watched the thrilling finish there. I'll start with Tristan, who got over the line in the end. Run us through what happened.
Oh, that was pretty slow actually. I just didn't make any mistakes really. I thought Paddy would be like 5 minutes ahead of me still. I was just trying to hold off the other teams, honestly.
So Paddy, the crowd weren't able to watch, but we were watching on the track and in the van. What happened on that last control? You had probably about 45 seconds to a minute on Tristan coming into that last, the 4th last control, sorry. What happened there?
Oh, I'm not really sure.
Oh yeah, I was trying to like keep contact all the way down, but then I lost it, so I thought I'd just get out of it and work out again, but didn't work out again.
So you looked like you went a little bit right.
I can't move your hand up a little bit and come a little bit closer over that way.
So just out of range there, I think, on the mic. But while that's developing, we've also got the SA, New Zealand and New South Wales men's 20 team in a tight bunch on the tracking, coming down into the camera control in the gully. So there's a competition brewing there. That's a tight battle for 3rd place in the M20, so we'll keep you updated on that. We should see one of them in the next minute coming into that control on camera. And Mason Arthur in M14 just running up the finish chute there. That's a win there for the Australian team with the two Reinbott brothers.
It's almost right on me. Stuffed up 9. I was down here too early. He went straight up here. So I thought he had split. Yeah. So then when I found 9.
And Ewan Shingler in the men's 20 for New South Wales has stretched out a lead in front of the two other boys for SA and New Zealand. So he's coming in for third place. Right behind him is Ethan Pank, who's just running down.
Did you see Callan out there? Yeah. Only the first one. Only the first one?
So right behind him, just jumping the fence there, is Ronan Lee, and he should run the New Zealand men 20s team into fourth position. So a good finish there by Ewan. He's put New South Wales into third there. And Ethan Pank for South Australia is just running down towards the fence, so a very tight grouping, but it looks like they've stretched out on that last downhill. So a great run there from Ethan.
Alright everyone, if you have a look on the big screen, we're just showing the tracking replay of the Battle of the Millers for men's 20. So you've got Australia there, that's Paddy Miller heading very far right, and then realising he's right, correcting, and Tristan's on a clean run straight in. Paddy just comes a little high, misses it. That's when we saw him on the camera. Tristan swooped in underneath, and then that's where he got away.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, that's right.
So we can also see there that battle for third place, that tight grouping, and it looks like SA was going to come in there. Ethan Pank for the win. But a strong there by Ewan Shingler to take the lead. He's boosted away from those two other runners in that last leg. So a good surge there to take third place for New South Wales in M20.
I have two Australian people here.
Wow, good job, babe.
Oh! Oh, I'm so annoying.
And on screen now we can see Bruce Arthur for the M40 team, third leg runner. So he's just punched the gully control now. We should see him in the next minute.
Alright, so we have the battle in the women's 20, quite tight between New Zealand and Australia. We've got Brianna Stevens just ahead, on her way down to that third last control in the gully. And then we have Taramel Huish, maybe only 30 seconds behind, quite close at the moment. So we'll see what happens coming into that final technical control where we saw the Millers.
So also we can see Bruce Arthur coming across the top there. Went out with a lead of about 2 minutes over Shane Doyle, and now he's going to run Australia into the first position in men's 40. And right now we're looking at live tracking for the men's 21. So Matt Doyle has a sizable lead running into control 19 there. A bit of a slog over Matt Crane, so Matt Crane running for the ACT, just leading out of control 18. So that's a 1 minute tail there, so we're looking at a big climb ahead for Matt Crane. Looks like Matt Doyle has a good chance of running Australia in the win here, should he have a clean run for the rest of his course. So New Zealand team also just, New Zealand and New South Wales still on the loop there, so we can now see that on the tracking there's a a couple of loops back into a pivot control. And just jumping the fence there was Bruce Arthur in the men's 45A. So he'll take the win there for the Australian team. And also another Australian team finishing there in the lead. That's Bill Edwards, New Zealand team there. Bill Edwards running in, and he'll take the win for New Zealand in the EMS 50. Jock Davis there just behind, coming down the hill.
Let's go.
Well, it certainly got cooler while you were running.
That's because you were hot before.
No, it's like it did. Although it did also
So
get
Jock
hotter.
Davis there just coming in to punch the last control in the M50A. So a pretty tight race there between the New Zealand and Australian team, but New Zealand just getting the edge there in the last couple of controls.
So the next tight battle we're going to have is the women's 20 elites. We've had Tara taking the fast route down the hill, catching about a minute up on Brianna Stevens, and they're still about 100 metres from the control. So this is going to be very tight. They should be able to see each other now. They're both in the same clearing. So this is going to be very tight. See what happens here.
So it looks like those two girls in the women's 20, Tara Malhewish and Brianna Stevens, have been running together pretty much their whole course. They only went out 7 seconds ahead onto the third leg. So it's going to be a tight finish. We know that Tara's definitely got the legs, coming from a bit of a track running background, but has she got the legs at the end of 2 tough days of running? All right, and all eyes now should be focused over on the top of that spur. We've just been informed that the gully camera's down, so we're looking for either Tara Malhewish or Brianna Stevens. Whoever pops over that hill first is going to be a very good chance for taking the win in the women's 20.
Oh, that really fucked my knee. Oh, fucking run. That was so run. Oh, God. It hurts your stomach, eh? I feel like I just did more work. Run, bro.
And here we go, we can see them coming over. We've got Brianna Stevens just in front, only about 15 metres. Tara right on the tail there. This is going to come down to the wire. A good old-fashioned foot race here.
Has Tara got the legs? She's gaining on her, she's pushing hard. There's a couple more controls, but Tara's taken a slightly higher route there. A little bit of a route change. Is it going to work to her advantage? So if you are a third leg runner, just while this competition is building in the women's 20, if you are a third leg runner, please head to the must start at 12:20. If you are a third leg runner, please head to the must start at 12:20. That is approximately 4 minutes away.
Yeah, you did so well. Oh my god. I'm so confused. What? Oh, we don't know what's happening. Oh, we're there because we came first. Unless you
Oh, and also coming down the spur, we have Lizzie Ingham for the women's 21 New Zealand team. So she's just up the fence. She has got a lead over Bridget Anderson. We cannot see Bridget yet. So that means actually that's not Brianna Stevens. That is in fact Taramel Hewish in front of Brianna Stevens. So we've made a small mistake there, but Lizzie Ingham is going to run into the lead in the women's 21. And that's Taramel Hewish just punching the last control. Checking behind her, but she's got a lead over Brianna Stevens there. And that's a great race there by the New Zealand women's 21. They will take the win today. Bridget Anderson now, we can just see her coming over the ridge.
And we also have Bridget coming over the hill in second place for the Australian women's 21. Izzy has run through Bridget, but Bridget's holding off all the other teams. So a good run by Bridget.
I just don't get told anything.
So that's the first two positions in the women's 21 wrapped up, with Australia taking the win there. Tara running a great third leg, and then Brianna Stevens finishing in the third leg for women's 20. So that's the first two position wrapped up, but there's still obviously third position up for grabs.
I was like, I've lost it. And I saw you here and I was like, oh, okay, I have to push.
Keep the eyes on the spur. We should have Matt Doyle coming over in first place for the Australians. Looks like he has a sizable gap over the ACT team of Matthew Crane.
That's a great run there by Matt to cap off. Solid runs by Simon and Brody. So a good solid weekend there for Matt, who's had a good run yesterday and also backed it up today.
It will be ripped.
So here comes Bridget now, just running down the spur, one control to go. That's a tough couple of days of running there from Bridget, but she's held consistent. Great runs there. And we can see a yellow singlet on top there. We're not sure if that could be Matt Doyle. It does look like that unique running style of Matt Doyle. He's got the long socks and the tights on, and I think it is. So that's Matt Doyle finishing very strong there across the spur. He'll take a massive lead for the men's 21.
After quite a close start between Australia and ACT, the Dream Team has just managed to pull away in the end there. Really showing their class.
They do it on you.
So a strong finish here by Matty D. The sun is out, the guns are out, and the boys are going to get up today. So here's Matt Doyle and the men's 21 team. They'll come across the line with a huge lead. It's a great run by all three of them. Consistent runs over both days. And a great celebration there by Matt as well.
Ready to get ready? Never really. Almost on
Down a bit. They're off you now. Do you like my camera?
Just now on screen we can see the lead of Matt Doyle. We can also see Matt Crane making potentially what is a small error, heading off to the left there down to the 21. So we'll wait to see what he does there. but he is almost on his way to 22.
At least I can tell what's on. That was amazing.
I'm not even getting that any info.
Well, they told you before. I told them to tell you.
There is a bit of a clearing heading down that way, the left-hand side to 21, which he has made use of, but I'm not sure if he's meant to go on that far left. We'll wait and see what the tracking does for men's 21.
And in the finish shoot, we have Glenn Burgess finishing in the men's 55 in 4th place. We've had Karen Wild Allen coming in 4th place for the women's 35 orienteering. Our Tasmanian team sending out Susan Best. We've also had Juliet Frater from New Zealand finishing in 3rd for the women's 16. And we've got Jenny Bourne for the Australian team in women's 60 running into 1st place.
All right, and now with me in the commentary tent, I've got 3 smiling faces. We've got the men's 21A team who've just taken a huge win there for Australia. First of all, Matt, you went out with a narrow lead and came back with a massive lead. So tell us about your run out there. Any troubles or pretty much smooth sailing?
Well, it was a pretty tough start today, but I knew I had a bit of a gap going into it. Tried to stay nice and clean for the first couple of controls and did. Then could sort of hear Craney coming up behind me, but yeah, sort of just kept clean through to the butterfly section, and then I never saw him after that. So after that, I was a bit slow coming through a few controls, checking my numbers, those sorts of things, getting my direction right. But well, yeah, I knew I had a bit of a lead, so it was just trying to execute cleanly between your legs, and then there's nothing much else you can do apart from that. So yeah, I was pretty happy with my run overall.
So also coming off a great run yesterday with a good run in the long from all 3 of the Australian boys here. How did the legs feel out there today? We saw a couple of tough climbs towards the end of that, and a rough course setting map to send you up the hill again. How are the legs out there?
Oh mate, I was feeling the first control, so those ones in the back end were terrible. But you can't just get up to the top, keep going. That's all you can do, really. So.
And now looking forward, a couple of days off. How are you going to relax and then get ready for the next couple of races on the next weekend?
I'm going to relax by doing group presentation tomorrow at uni, then more uni, then work, then more uni, then driving down to Victoria. So it should be good.
All right, well, great run by all 3 of the men here. Big win there, so let's hope we can keep that form up for next weekend as we take on the New Zealanders.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
And now second in the men's 21, the ACT team. Matthew Crane coming over the fence now. Great performance by ACT. One of their key runners was in the Australian team, Matt Doyle, but they still managed to put a great run in there and hold off New Zealand.
and also the second ACT team.
In the finish chute, we've got Bruce Peake crossing second in the men's 60. We've got Kath Chalmers for the Australian team, also crossing first in the women's 50.
So a couple of really strong results here for Australia in the Australian-New Zealand test. So it's a great day in the relays. We'll take home some strong points here for the overall competition.
Well done, boys. Great work.
So we are still waiting for the third leg runners in the women's 20E. We've got the first two positions confirmed, and we are waiting for potentially the third team. Jess Rogers for Orienteering Queensland was sent out third. A big gap there between the first two Australian and New Zealand teams and the Orienteering Queensland team, but we'll wait and see who will come in and claim that third position in the women's 20.
I knew it was like I wouldn't look in front.
So right now on screen we can see the battle for third place in the women's 21. So ACT and South Australia are just coming up onto the last pivot, couple of loops there before they come down the hill onto screen into the gully control. Just being informed that Vanessa is actually a loop ahead there, so South Australia will come down the hill, whereas ACT will have to do an extra loop. So a strong there lead for South Australia. We'll see if Vanessa can finish off strong and claim third position in the women's 21. And running for the ACT, who will probably come into fourth position at this stage, is Kathy Dent for ACT. So we should see in the next 15 to 20 minutes. We're still waiting for the third place men's 21 team. At the moment in contention, we're probably looking at a strong chance of Tommy Hayes if he can overcome that injury he's been battling. If he went out roughly the same time as Stephen Melhuish, we'd probably be backing Tommy after his recent form in a couple of big races to come back there. But still in contention, we've also got Toby Wilson and Riley de Jong running for the Queensland team. So a couple of positions still up for grabs in the men's 21. And in the finish chute, we've just seen Justine Hobson taking fourth position there for the Australian team in the women's 16. So a little bit of time lost there, perhaps for the girls team, but still a strong result. And on screen now in the tracking, we've got the men's 21 replay. So we'll have a look at how this panned out. Matt Doyle surging across that clearing there to 19, and I think he had a fairly strong run up that steep hill as well to put some time into Matt Crane. And a small mistake at 18 there by Matt Crane as well, we can see. So now looking like a battle between New South Wales and New Zealand, but we also remember that we've got loops there, so we're not entirely sure who has completed all of the loops yet. So it looks like New Zealand has a strong chance of taking the third place here in the men's 21. And that'll be Tommy Hayes, who's only got about a third of his course left to go. So it looks like Tommy's had a fairly clean run here. We haven't got tracking for the ACT2 team, Stephen Malhewish going out there, but by the looks of it, Tommy's on a fairly strong run here. Now we've also got the live women's 21 tracking on screen. So Vanessa Round is just coming into the gully control that we've been seeing on camera. Unfortunately, we haven't got camera footage there, but Vanessa Round should comfortably run into third position in the women's 21. We should see her in the next minute or two running across the spur.
Welcome home. You're stuffed and tired.
Right, thank you. Before we quit.
So here we see Vanessa. She's coming across. 3 controls to go. Comfortable lead there. So she'll take third position over the ACT team.
So looks like we've got Craig Pelvin coming in, first place for the New Zealand team in the men's 40 in Radio 4. We've also got Terry Blewett in 4th place for New South Wales in the men's 65.
So on screen now, Vanessa Round. She's running in strong. She'll have 2 controls to go. That's a great run there to hold out off the ACT team, and she'll run into third position there.
Just an announcement, we have 2 jumpers at registration which were left at the start yesterday. So if you did leave your jumper up there and you haven't collected it, it will be there at registration waiting for you.
Rabbit was a tad faster last week, was he? Must have come from a big gap. Yeah, I didn't see you earlier. I left the last one.
So Vanessa Round there, that's a great run by her. She's made up roughly 1 minute and 40 over Kathy Den on the ACT team. So a great last leg there by Vanessa to take third position.
I'm not entirely sure. Yay!
And now not too far away, we should see Tommy Hayes coming in to take third position. So he's only got that downhill leg to go before he comes in. We should be seeing him in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Now that work to do. Get lost now. Halfway down the hill. Just lost contact. Oh no. Yeah, me too. Came down this one and then I kind of scooped through there. But then I didn't never relocate there, and then I thought I'd come to Orienteering, but there was something here, and then I was out down here.
Jake.
That's all good. Should have been more careful.
Quarter? Not yet. Sorry about the bad start. Oh, no. Not at all. I got back and I actually burst into tears on Tara and said, I hate relays! I hate relays! I'm alright now, thank you. But I'm sorry that you were so late. I mean, I'm sorry that Tara's late. No. You know what? Completely. Sorry? You know, I just completely buggered big one. Oh, completely buggered. Like, had some alone time outside on the alone time too. Oh, no way. So I should have...
I was trying to make that go. Well, I took off. She came past me, I was on this.
So there's Tommy on screen. He's just punched the gully control and he's now coming down to take the last 3 controls. So Tommy will run down here into 3rd place in the men's 21. A tough race yesterday, but somewhat satisfying that it'll take them. Oh, and a bit of a tumble there for Tommy. A tough couple of days running for Tommy, but he'll get a 3rd place today for New Zealand. Now also running in, I think we have the 3rd place women's 20 team. I think that's Jess Rogers running into the finish chute, so that'll be a 3rd place for the Queensland team in the women's 20 competition. So a good run there by Jess to hold off the ACT and New South Wales teams there. So just waiting for the download, and yep, she has indeed finished in 3rd. So that's the women's 20E wrapped up, and that's also the men's 21. With Tommy taking 3rd place there. Still waiting for a couple of teams in the men's 21, but quite a gap back to the 4th and 5th place.
Well done, my dear.
Only for you girls. I don't think that'll do. I think we're coming third, so we're still doing Well, you didn't miss punish, which is always good. I nearly missed punish. Serena, you were so speedy. You were so over there. Oh, wait. So fast. Good job, Serena. How long is it? You didn't punch any other controllers. No control mistakes detected. High five. Woo! I would have gone. Yeah. It's just like down. Not going up and down it. I'm so proud of you.
Did it register next? Yeah. Oh yeah. You've got your gun and casting, so you go, you're going to take casting.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Valerie Barker, the coordinator of the Australian Schools Orienteering Championships and the whole carnival for all of our secondary school students. Just to let you know that we are having our opening ceremony this afternoon. It's been advertised at 4 p.m, but because of the nature of the travelling involved today, we've pushed it back to 5 p.m. So family and friends are very welcome to join us all at Barambala, that's the New South Wales Sport and Recreation Centre, about 25 minutes east of Wagga, at 5 p.m. to open our Australian Schools Orienteering Championships. Thank you.
Where do you want this?
We beat New South Wales! I know. Oh my God, I'm so happy. What was your time? What did you do?
Literally, I said the same thing. I said, when people open that rock, I started really enjoying it. Yeah, no, just enjoy the rock.
They don't get any Orienteering.
So how was your course today?
Oh, look, it was pretty good in the buildings. Up on the hill, though, I lost a bit of time. Just not as confident on that stuff. The long leg up there, Brian basically ran me down for a minute back. So, yeah, it was okay, but not the best. Orienteering, I just started to really love it, and it's a great, great sport, and it's a great family sport as well. All my kids do it as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.